Hello there guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV for another episode of The Transfer Show. I know we do apologise, it has been a little while since the last episode, but here we are now and there is quite a lot to talk about today because some fairly interesting rumours and reports came out this morning, which are obviously the main story of today, but there are a lot of other, smaller things to talk about as well as the main topic. Why on earth have we not signed anyone? It's the 29th of January. It's Wednesday, the 29th of January. The window shuts in just over 48 hours from when you are watching this. Chelsea have a strong need for strengthening in multiple areas of the squad, and yet not a single signing has been made. It's ridiculous, in all honesty. But as you can see on screen, of course, this video is again sponsored by OneFootball, so thank you to them. And if you wouldn't mind, please go down below into the description of the video and download the OneFootball app via that link. That would help us out a lot. We would massively appreciate that. And you can get all of the latest news surrounding Chelsea. Well, surrounding your favourite team, basically. And, with just 2 days to go in the transfer window, you will get all the latest transfer news on there. And, of course, when the games are coming up again, including Leicester on the weekend, of course, you will get all of the latest, score updates and everything you need to know in there as well. So please go down, like I said, go down below into the video description. Download the OneFootball app via that link. That'd be massively appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell button so you don't, miss any of our future videos, basically. But let's just get into the rest of the video and to the proper part of the transfer show. Because like I said, it is ridiculous that we haven't signed anyone yet. And yeah, I get that, we want top players. And those top players like Sancho, Werner or Dembele might simply not be available at the moment. And we also know that, for example, Wilfried Zaha's wage demands, but also his transfer fee were just too high for that to be a feasible option, especially the wage demands were the bigger problem here. But we can get Edison Cavani from PSG for 20 million, I think, euros right now. Yes, I know it's a lot of money for a 32-year-old whose contract runs out this summer, but we're desperate. We're desperate for someone to score a few more goals for us, especially with the crossing of Reece James, who should hopefully be back for the Leicester game. And Tammy at the moment is doing it in the air, and no one else is scoring any goals except Tammy. I mean, Tammy is injured at the moment anyway. Who knows whether he'll be fit for Leicester, but Choi is very mediocre. And let's not even mention Olivier Giroud, who looked to be on his way to Inter. That still might happen, especially after this is sold Politano, who was said has to leave before they can sign him. But now, Spurs are interested in him apparently. And also apparently, he actually fancies that move, which would be quite interesting. I mean, our striker situation is a bit of a problem. I mean, there has been talk about Piontek from AC Milan, who we were linked with last January, when we did, end up signing Higuain in the end. And yeah, okay, while he hit it off well for them when he signed, for them last January, 4 goals and 0 assists in 18 appearances for them this season, with now kind of being their fourth choice striker after they signed Ibrahimovic, when Milan, let's be honest, are more than just a shadow of their former self, and they have been for years, and also currently sit 8th in Serie A. Should Chelsea really be signing, their fourth choice striker? I think not. And also it actually seems quite likely now that he will join Hertha Berlin anyway. But there has been talk about Piontek and some people actually wanted him. Now I personally actually believe that a goal-scoring winger is much more important for us right now than a new striker. Tammy struggles at times, we know that, and he has his struggles in some games. But he's still scored 15 goals so far this season, and we're only in January. Like, that, the striker really isn't the main issue. The problem is that no one else scores goals. I mean, Pulisic and Jorginho are both on 6 goals. And yeah, Pulisic, like I said, has scored 6, but 3 of those came in one game. And Jorginho scored 1, 2 maybe from open play, and all of the other came from the penalty spot. Willian doesn't score enough. Hudson-Odoi doesn't look like scoring when he plays on the right. I know he scored against Forest, but other than that, he's never looked like scoring when he plays on the right, in my opinion. Let's not even mention Pedro. Goals from midfield, even though that will also, again, improve when Loftus-Cheek is back, isn't as big of an issue, but it still is kind of an issue. But, when Ruben is back, we kind of have the solution for that in the ranks already. We just need to hope for him to be back fit as soon as possible. But, Barkley has scored a couple of goals, I think. Kovacic just scored a couple. Jorginho obviously scores from the penalty spot. Kante has scored a few goals as well. So I think it is a much bigger problem that we don't score from the wingers than it is from midfield. So when this morning, coming to the main news of today, reports came out from Di Marzio, who, as you might know, is usually quite reliable when it comes to Chelsea and Serie A and Italy news. He did say that Chelsea are interested in DRIES Mertens from Napoli, of course, the Belgian forward. And I was like, yeah, why on earth not? Why on earth not? I mean, he's basically a cheaper, older, but also more experienced, and in my opinion, better version of Zaha. That's literally what he is. I mean, he can play up front. Has played up front many a times for Napoli. But can most certainly also get goals from wide areas. Okay, just 4 league goals with 2 assists from 10 starts so far this season in overall 16 appearances. But also 5 goals and 1 assist in 5 Champions League starts this season already. So, that's not all too bad, is it now? That's not all too bad. The only problem, though, he loves Napoli. He really does love Napoli. Not long ago, he wanted to become the all-time top goal scorer, from which he's, by the way, 3 goals away from achieving that, behind Marek Hamšík. But then he got injured just after Christmas with an adductor problem. He should be out for roughly a month, so he should be back very soon, or around now anyways. But also his contract runs out this summer. So if it's possible, me personally, I say try and get him, Chelsea. I say try and get him. I think he's exactly what we need. Yeah, he's not Werner. He's not Dembele. He's not Sancho. Of course he isn't. But as a short-term fix and what is available in the January window, when it's always a bit tricky to sign someone, and also more capable of playing wide, which Cavani can't, even though he was forced to when Ibrahimovic was there, but can't. He is what we need. Can play up front when Tammy is injured, for example, but can play on the wing when Tammy is there. And then we have both of these goal-scoring threats. And, you know, that's good. While I was making notes for this video, though, actually, it was reported that we have made a €10 million plus bonuses offer for Mertens to Napoli. But it was also reported kind of at the same time that Mertens actually has decided to stay at Napoli regardless of any offer being accepted. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, I'd be a fan of getting him as a short-term solution for our goal-scoring problems. I've explained why. So, you know, that's at least my stance on it. And then just to mention it here at the end, Frank Lampard, of course, the young right-back that impressed so much when he came on away at Arsenal a few weeks ago. His contract at Chelsea was running out this summer. As far as I'm aware, we did offer him a new contract. Possibly not quite to, you know, his demands, I guess. But it has turned out that he's actually just signed a pre-contract with the French outfit Lille, you know, for the summer. His contract is running out, so he's allowed to do that. And he's done that, apparently. So, you know, that is a bit sad. But I guess, you know, with Reece James only being 20 years of age himself and playing in Lamptey's position, you can totally understand why Lamptey would make that decision. I can understand it anyway. But, you know, just overall, something needs to happen. Like, did the board not see Lampard's interview after the Hull game? If you haven't, you need to go check it out. He was basically begging them to sign an attacker or two. He was basically begging them to do so. How are we not even backing one of the biggest legends that has ever come out of our club's history? Like, how are we not even backing him properly? I'm not saying we're not trying. Like, I'm sure we are trying to get Cavani, who, at least until today, was reported to be our top priority target. We're just trying to sort it out because, you know, €20 million for a 32-year-old whose contract runs out in the summer anyway. Obviously, clubs don't want to spend crazy like that. And, you know, the Werner, Sancho, Dembele, Saha situations, I explained those. But if the board really want top 4, they could have signed someone on January 1st or 2nd, you know, that kind of thing. There would have been multiple league games already then in which that new signing could have helped us in securing more points rather than dropping them left, right and centre, which is what we have to be doing with just 2 league wins in the last 8 Premier League games, which just isn't good enough. And at this stage, I believe we have to get very, very lucky to make top 4 if we don't bring in, you know, a somewhat significant attacking acquisition. I'm not saying it's impossible because somehow, even though we've only, you know, scored 2 wins from 8 games in the Premier League recently, we're somehow kind of still at times extending our gap to 5th. So it's a bit crazy. But just because United and Arsenal and Spurs and, you know, even Sheffield and Wolves are in and around that area as well, keep dropping points, and just because we've dropped a few less points doesn't mean that's good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could easily be 12 points clear of 5th, easily. But we're not. And that could have been different. Yes, of course, that can be blamed on the current players. Some of it can be blamed on Frank Lampard. But, you know, we can sign players. We clearly have the financial capabilities of doing so. So why on earth are we not doing it? I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand. And like I said, I get in January it's difficult. But sometimes, you know, it is so important for us to make top 4 and get Champions League football. These signings that we're all talking about, we want Sancho and apparently Lampard wants Chilwell. These big players, these big money players, you're not going to get Sancho without Champions League football. Why would you leave Dortmund, who will be in the Champions League almost certainly? Well, I say almost certainly. It is a very tight title race in the Bundesliga right now, 5 teams-ish. But they probably will be. We just need to do something because we need top 4 if we want to get these big name players and actually over the next at least 2 or 3 years start to challenge Liverpool and Man City for a Premier League title again. Because if we're not in the Champions League again, we're going to struggle to sign the top players again. And then it's just going to be a much, much slower process to actually get there again. And if we can somehow make top 4 this season, which before the season I didn't expect, but now that we are in a position where it's possible, I think we need to, you know, just capitalize on that possibility. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. It's been a bit of a rant, but also a bit of, you know, sharing the latest news with you guys. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said in the beginning, you know, OneFootball are the sponsors of this video, so thank you to them. And please go down below into the first line of the video description and download the OneFootball app via that link there. That would be massively appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comment section below whether you would be a fan of signing DRIES Mertens and also all of the other things I spoke about. yeah, drop a like if you want DRIES MERTENS, I guess, as well. Why not? And also don't forget to hit the notification bell button just to make sure that you don't miss any of the future videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea, and I'll see you when I see you.